What's good? There is no way around saying it. There is no way to sugarcoat it. That's a bad loss. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. So we do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. Make sure you hit that bell. We don't want you to miss a thing. That's a bad loss. That's the only way to say it. It's the only way to break it down. It's the only way to look at it. You allowed a team to get up on you by 20, and you had to fight your way back into it the rest of the game. Any situation that leads to that does not lead to success. Any situation that puts you in that spot does not lead to success, man. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Let's break down what we saw tonight, right? Let's break down what we saw tonight. Looking at this team, I understand West Coast trip, a game that, let's be real, we've always struggled against Sacramento. This goes back years. I don't understand why. I'll never understand why. I'm talking about look at their record going back to Jordan days. Always struggled against Sacramento. It's not an excuse. It's just what it is. But this was a game where in the first two quarters, they went 27-17. And you shot horribly. The second quarter, 36-26. You didn't score 50 points heading into halftime. This was a bad loss. And I'm not going to be one of those guys that comes in here and says, oh, this is one where, you know what I'm saying, you got to get it, figure it out, one for the Gipper, all that stuff. No. We're not playing that. We're being honest here. We're being real here. I can be optimistic. I love my Bulls. It's C-Red Nation. I can have perspective. This is a night where it shows me once again, you're going to be in trouble if everything you do relies on the success of DeMar DeRozan. You have to go to other guys that are working and get them going. Vooch seemed to be the guy that started to get it working. Keep feeding him. Don't go away from him. When he comes back onto the court, you know what you do? You see if he's still got it going. I understand DeMar's your closer. DeMar was off. 7 for 17 tonight, 21 points. Got to the free throw line 7 times, knocked down 7 of those shots. 7 for 7 from the free throw line. All right, I didn't get to the free throw line 7 times. Y'all know what I mean. 3 times and 1, so 4 times. Zach LaVine, 8 for 18 tonight, 27 points. This was a bad loss. You put it behind you. Of course, we're going to sit here. We're going to dissect this. There's going to be some people that overlook this. There's going to be some people that look deep into this. You know how you solve this issue? You go out there and you win the next 2 games. You go out there and you win the next 2 games. That's how you solve this issue. You had your full slate of pieces, whether Zach LaVine's hobbled or not, minus Lonzo and P. Will. Now, your rookie got cooked. De'Aaron Fox absolutely destroying Ayo Dosunmu tonight. Your rookie got cooked. But that's your rookie. We're talking about a kid that's been in the league 64 games. I got to be more than that. Not about that one. 67 games, something like that. And it started 28 of them. But I shouldn't be relying on the rook when it comes down to it. I shouldn't be relying on the rook when it finishes out. I should be able to rely on my stars to get the job done in games like this. We're going to go to Billy Donovan at the podium. Now, y'all know how we do on late nights like this. Try to keep the post-game shows short. So we're not going to take the calls tonight, but drop your comments in the chat. Let me get this set up here. I'm salty, dog. I got off the live and I was just staring at the TV like, dog, we really just got smoked by them. And there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. Let's go to Billy Donovan now at the podium.
Shoot the ball like that, it's really hard to have the lead. But like we were in striking distance. I thought what really hurt us was the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. They scored 20 points. Like that's one of those games where, okay, we're not shooting it well. Let's just get to the half, maybe get our legs back under us or whatever. And then, but you can't have like that five. I thought that 5 minute segment, instead of it maybe being a 8, 10, 12-point game, ended up being 20 because we gave up. And I actually thought our defense wasn't bad. Right. You know, it was low scoring in that first quarter. And even though we didn't shoot the ball particularly well, I thought we were defending fairly well. But I think once we kept missing shots and we couldn't make one, I thought it really, really bled in. And then the other part was I thought our turnovers hurt us. We had 9 in the first half. I think they had 13 points on second chance opportunities. Our rebounding was not great. And then obviously the transition hurt us too. But I thought that 5 minutes was the difference of it maybe being, instead of like I said, a 20-point game, maybe it's between 8 and 12. You know, and that's what you got to be able to learn. Hope we can learn from that you're not going to always shoot it well, but the defense is what kind of lets you hang around.
This was the second game, I think, in the last 3 where Zach looked to shoot from the outside a lot more early on and then attack later on. Is that a product of he kind of has to warm into games with that need? Or, because in the second half, he was attack. Or is it something that he's just playing that way? You know what I mean? Or is it a byproduct of the knee?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you can ask him about the knee. I didn't really notice anything else. You can ask him how he felt. I didn't get anything from him. I do know in the Detroit game, I could tell it was bothering him just in our conversations. I didn't get anything from him tonight. I think that I actually thought Zach did a really good job of facilitating. He was generating shots from getting off the ball and finding the open man. One of the things that we've talked a lot about, is him making quick decisions. I thought he did that, whether it was your point, taking a jumper or attacking, either one of them. He's an elite 3-point shooter. Certainly we needed probably in that second half with the way it was going for us offensively. Because, I think in the Cleveland game, we didn't take very many threes. Right. I think over half our shots were non-paint twos. And in this game, we had a good number of threes because they were collapsing on DeMar and on Zach. So I think when we did get downhill, we were spraying it out. And I think we missed some shots. And I think the mentality, at least for us in that second half, was like, listen, if we're not making shots, we got to play downhill at the basket. We got to try to get to the free throw line. We got to score some points that way. And I think that maybe is what changed his mentality in that second half because, okay, we're not shooting it great. Let's try to get something at the basket.
We always talk about on the screen, line of scrimmage. What do you see from the guys defensively?
That hurt us the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. We did not do a good job there at all. I thought he and Sabonis pick and roll really hurt us in the end of the end of the second quarter. I thought we were better in the third and fourth on it. We did get hurt on some stack action where they ran that late. But that 5 minute period where they ran off 20 points, that was part of, I think, what you're mentioning, that 2-man game with Sabonis and Fox. And we did not do a good enough job, handling that at the point of the screen. There's no question. Because all it was just a 2-man game, high pick and roll. It wasn't like they were doing a lot of movement. They were just kind of throwing it to them and letting those two guys play. And, we at least, he got downhill quite a bit. Vooch had to commit. Then Sabonis is getting it in the pocket and he's playing at the basket or getting it to the next side.
opponent's play where he got punched in the face. I didn't see a replay. I don't know if it was an elbow or what, but was that not reviewable? Could they not have reviewed that for a play run?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think there's got to be a stoppage play. I'm not really sure. I mean, when I called timeout, I mentioned something to the official, and Vucci even mentioned something. But there was, I don't know if they could have. Yeah, that was it.
Coach Kobe White normally had a good game against the Kings. He did have 10 points in the first half, but he only got 3 in the second half. What would you contribute that to? Because he's usually a really Kings killer when he comes to this building, or he's playing this.
Yeah, I mean, I could have maybe played him a little bit more in the first half because we weren't shooting the ball well. He was kind of a bright spot, but I kind of stayed with Io defensively because I thought, on Fox, but that I just mentioned the last 5 minutes kind of hurt us. I thought Kobe, took his open shots, tried to get downhill, did some good things, on the offensive end of the floor. He's always a threat, to either shoot it or drive it. But I thought, in terms of shot making, he was solid. We just didn't have a great shooting night all the way around. And we were better in the second half.
Yep. Agreed.
I think our defense enabled us to get out.
Shot horrible.
And I think, Kobe was able to find some openings in that.
Shot horrible. 44 in here, man. Hit that like button.
Okay, guys. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
That was Billy Donovan at the podium, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page, man. We do this every single day, breaking down Chicago sports, man, and also talking about our Bulls, the beloveds. A lot of what Billy said is, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get the how they picked the defense apart with that pick and roll, how they were able to get downhill on Vooch, and Vooch is stepping up. Nobody's boxing out backside, and how that hit us a couple of times, right? Doesn't mean this isn't a bad loss. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get the logic reasons of it, but you came into this game with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic. And you needed to get this one done. Now it puts you in a position where you have to close out and get the dub versus Utah. Well, you wanted to do that anyway, and versus Phoenix, for you to be in a good position, to me, to spark things off this time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard me over on Locked On. I said I thought the Bulls could go 3-0 on this trip, only if they got these first 2, and I thought that might give you enough momentum, maybe going into that Phoenix game, get the job done. But now it's going to be interesting to see. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I look at this Bulls team as one that can play better, that has played better, but this is not a loss that I can say the Bulls' injuries held them back from. Zach LaVine was getting the job done in that fourth quarter, right? The Bulls cut it to 1. The Bulls cut it to a 1-point game. You got to get that one done. This is one you got to get done. You have to figure out how to consistently get it done. And you didn't lose this game doing anything different than you've done the entire season to lose a lot of these games, leaving guys open. Now, they were better defensively. I'll give you that. Listen, this game doesn't get back close without the Bulls playing better defensively. The Bulls were better defensively. They fought their way back in on both ends of the floor. But when you get down 20, that's what happens. You have to fight your way back in. You have to claw your way back in. You have to do everything that you can just to try and get into a position to be close into the game. And guess what? You did that. I'm fine with missed shots, right? I'm fine with, listen, every team's going to miss shots. Bulls missed shots tonight. First half, horrible shooting night. They missed shots. It was still a 10-point game leaving that first quarter. Here's the problem for me. You want to know how the fourth quarter ended? Fourth quarter ended 26-24. At one point in the fourth quarter, the Bulls had outscored the Sacramento Kings 12-4. 12-4. You then allowed Sacramento in the final 4 minutes of the game to score 20 points. That's why this is a bad loss. That's why it's not even the first half for me. First half is bad shooting. Allowing Sacramento, when you had a 12-4 lead in the fourth quarter, scoring-wise, to then run off 20 points on you. And in that time span, you scored 14. That's why this is a bad loss. And here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing. Stephen Winters says, we can't score 17 in the first quarter. Look how they shot it, bro. There's a reason they scored 17 in the first quarter. They missed wide open shots. Horribly. Horrible shooting. Horrible shooting. Left the half. Listen, left the first quarter shooting worse than they left the half shooting. Left the first quarter shooting worse than they left the half shooting. I can live with bad shooting for a half. I can live with bad shooting for a half. What I can't live with is giving up 20 points to finish the game when you were completely outscoring them. Where you were completely dominating them. That's a moment where you have to, as one of these top playoff teams in the East, put your foot on their throat and finish the game. That's that point. That's when you've reached that point. I can live with bad shooting for a half. That's going to happen sometimes. Teams have bad shooting nights. And we've seen the Bulls have far and few between on that. But you have to continue to keep your foot on their throats when you have your foot on their throat. And the Bulls got down to within one, and they let up. Can't do that. That you can't do. That I can't live with. Some numbers from the night. Looking at the Bulls here. Bulls shot at 41% to finish out. Shot at 29% for the game from three. I want y'all to understand, that's good based on where we were. That's good based on where we were. Shot 22 free throws tonight. Made 21 of them. 40 rebounds. Didn't get out-rebounded, really. Got out-rebounded by 5 on that one. 9 offensive boards. Actually won the offensive board rebounding battle. 22 assists. 5 steals. Now, here's the thing. 13 turnovers for us, but 15 for them. Even on that front as well. Points off of those turnovers. Bulls won. 22-15, which would lead you to understand they played good defense in the second half. But when you get down like that, dog, and you come back, you have to finish the team. Put them away. And the Bulls weren't able to do that tonight. Let's move past it. You lost tonight. Can't do anything about it. Sucks. Bad loss. How do you beat Utah? Utah's a team we've already beaten. I'm not going to lie to you. Key to beating Utah to me, let Donovan Mitchell take them bad shots he's been taking all season long. Yes, they are 4th in the Western Conference. Yes, they do win these games. But Donovan Mitchell is one of the worst shot takers. If his name wasn't Donovan Mitchell, or if he didn't have Mitchell on the back of his jersey, sometimes I would be like, dog, is that Russ over there? And y'all know I'm a Russ fan, so that one hurt a little bit. But I mean, Donovan is one of the worst shot takers I've seen in the league. So, and the last time you beat them, right? No Vooch. So now you have Vooch. He can go up, match up. You're matching up size-wise a little bit better versus that Jazz team. A little bit later in the year, you want to get this one done. Bulls actually shoot a better field goal percentage than them. Now they're tied for first in the league with 3-point attempts, and they are sixth in the NBA with 3-point field goal percentage. But weirdly enough, the difference is the Bulls are first. 37.5%. The Bulls shoot from the 3-point line, man. That is the best in the NBA right now. That's wild to say, ain't it? After what we saw tonight. Now, the difference is for them, the defense and the rebounding. Rudy Gobert makes a big difference. Guess what? If you're not knocking down your 3-ball tomorrow, or yeah, it is tomorrow now. It's past midnight. If you're not knocking down your 3-ball tomorrow, then it's going to be tough because you're not going to get those attempts inside on Rudy Gobert. I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, I think Rudy Gobert is a lot of things. I think that he's become a $200 million player. I don't think that he was when they paid him, but shout out to him for getting the bag. But I think that now he's become a $200 million player. And when he drives, or when you try to drive, he's going to alter that shot. When you try to drive, he's going to alter that shot. And so you have to find a way to combat what he does. You have to find a way to basically extend him out. Like, I'm going to be real with you. Vooch should be, out of all the nights where Vooch is standing at the 3-point line for some reason chucking up 3-pointers, I'll never understand it against some of these dudes. But of all the nights where he's standing at the 3-point line chucking up 3-pointers, it better be tomorrow night. Because, I mean, if we're being real, dog, like, if you keep him inside, it's just going to make life way too hard for Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan to get to the bucket. You have to get Gobert away from the bucket. You have to get Gobert away from the bucket. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. By the way, yeah, Javon ENT, Mitchell did what he needed to do. Mitchell did what we needed Kobe White to do. Who is Buddy? And is he related to Donovan Mitchell, bro? Because I'm not going to lie to you, right? They look eerily alike. Nobody ever answered that. What's his name? Davion Mitchell? I don't see no relation. You know, usually they give you the family and all that. But, dog. Fam, legit, it says, are Davion and Donovan Mitchell brothers? Like, that's one of the searches. Fam, you would not be, I would have been confused not knowing, like, if I hadn't looked that up. Like, I really thought, I was like, they got to be related in some way, cousins or something. Davion Mitchell absolutely had a day versus the Bulls tonight, man. Let me give his stats because he is nice. Shout out to that brother. 16 points on 7 of 14 shooting, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, 2 boards, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Balled out tonight. Unfortunately, man, Bulls take an L, but let's hope we get back in the win column on the other side of this. I'm going to get out of here tonight, like I said, because when it's these West Coast games, man, I'm not doing a long post-game show. We're not running to the phones. We're not doing all that. Because your boys also got to do Locked On. So we're going to be over there recording that tonight as well. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with me. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. We did break 12,300 subscribers, 200 more subscribers, and we're going to start doing trivia to give away the Ayo Dosunmu jersey on the other side, dog. On the other side at 1,300. At 1,300 subscribers, we're going to give away the Ayo Dosunmu jersey. So we're going to start doing trivia for that. We're going to qualify 10 people. And then, of course, you know what I'm saying? You got to be in America. Listen, we here. Before we get out of here, Cordell says, Pat, what's your take on trading Lonzo and allowing to start allowing Ayo, I'm assuming you're saying, to start full time and Caruso to stay on the bench to help the second unit. No, one, because you just paid him, and two, because depth is everything. Depth is everything. So to me, the most important thing is to have Lonzo, Ayo, Kobe, Caruso, all of those guys. You want to have all of those guys. You're going to need those guys going into the playoffs. You're going to need those guys closing out games coming down the stretch. So depth is everything in this league, man. Being able to have that depth, being able to have those guys you can rely on. Don't look at Ayo as the next point guard that's going to take over for Lonzo. Look at Ayo as the guy that's going to be accent piece to what Lonzo does and be able to be out there with Lonzo for defense and going to be able to bolster your bench up. So shout out to him, man. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Hey, Chicago, y'all stay safe out there, man. Peace.